Hi, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Sara and I teach Drew Yoga. So today we're going to do some fabulous stretches. So we're going to work with the body's fascia, which is the name that we use to describe the connective tissue that encases the whole of the body. It surrounds your joints, all the different organs in the body. And it's really great to start to work on stretching and releasing that fascia, because often it can feel a little bit stiff and tight. And we're also going to explore using our breath to help us to release and let go. So if you'd like to come down onto the floor on your mat, we're going to be on the mat for the whole of the class. And you'll also need a strap. So ideally something that doesn't stretch. A dressing gown cord, it can be quite good, or a tie or a scarf. But if you have a yoga strap or something like that, that's brilliant. It needs to just be long enough so that you can tie it around your leg and extend your leg up in the air. Okay, so let's get started. So we'll begin by lying flat on the floor and giving ourselves an amazing stretch. So really simple, just settle your spine on the mat and take the arms overhead and just stretch. Like that amazing morning stretch that you do when you first wake up. Point the toes away, stretch out through the shoulders, breathe that stretch right down deep into the body. And then on your next out breath, bring the arms back down and settle the shoulders and the spine onto the floor. And then we'll take the feet wide, take the arms out to the side, creating a starfish shape. And again, take your fingertips to the corners of the room and your toes to the other corners, or if you're in the garden, just out to the edges of your space. And then breathe out and relax. And from here, let's draw the knees into the chest and just draw some circles on the base of the spine. So just gently holding your knees and work into that sacral area of your back. So you've got that fused part of your spine right at the base there in the pelvis. And we're just gently massaging it with the pressure of the floor. Taking your time. And then pause for a moment and just draw the knees in and just release out that lower part of your spine. Working up into the lumbar and then back. We'll do that a couple more times. And then rocking side to side. So feeling that into your sacroiliac joints on either side of the sacrum in the pelvis there. You might just feel that bony part of the pelvis and the lower spine as you just gently rock side to side. Plug the knees in one more time and then breathe out and lower the feet down. Settle your spine onto the floor, and we're just going to take a moment just to tune in with the breath. So keep your feet about hip distance, knees hip distance, and rest your fingertips on your belly. That place just between the navel and your diaphragm at the base of your rib cage. Just pop your fingertips there and start to become aware of your breath. You should feel a beautiful, gentle rise and fall as you breathe in and breathe out. Now see if you can consciously take the breath right down into your belly, like you're blowing up a balloon in your tummy. And then breathe out and allow the belly to soften. So this is known as the deep abdominal breath or the diaphragmatic breath. So breathe in. We're actually pushing the air down into the lower lobes of the lungs, and that's pushing your diaphragm down and allowing the abdomen to expand. It's a very calming breath. We'll just do a couple more. And allow the out breath to just be a little bit longer than the in breath. And we're working now with the body's relaxation response. So this breath is really brilliant for just calming and stilling and allowing the body and the mind to settle. Okay, so just keep coming back to that breath as we do these stretches. And then we're going to pop the backs of the hands onto the floor by the side of the body. Keep the knees bent. And just bring your awareness to your lower rib cage. And just make sure that you're pushing your lower back, contracting your abdominals a little bit, and allowing the rib cage to stay pushed down into the floor. So we want to keep the rib cage nice and level. And then we're going to breathe in and take the fingertips up towards the ceiling. And then as you breathe out, just start to lower the arms down above the head. But keep that rib cage down. So there's a tendency to want to lift like this. And we don't want to do that. We want to keep the small of the back and the rib cage pushed in. You want your abdominals engaged. You're pulling in through your pelvic floor. And you should feel a beautiful strong stretch into the shoulders and the upper part of the back. Straightening the arms as much as you can and having the palms of the hands down towards the floor and the backs of the hands up towards the ceiling. Don't worry if you don't reach the floor, you may be just about here. And then we're going to breathe in, take the fingers up, and breathe out and lower them back down. And we'll just do that one more time. So if your hands didn't easily reach towards the floor, you might want to pop a cushion or a blanket just above your head so that you can rest your hands on that. So engage your core, push down into the lower back, breathe in, fingers go up to the ceiling, breathe out and lower the hands. So we're actually working into a muscle called the latissimus dorsi muscle on either side of the back there. Big muscle in the back. And just keep your breath steady and full, allowing yourself to release and stretch. Feeling that openness in the top of the body into the chest. And then breathe in and breathe out. And bring yourself back for a moment to your deep abdominal breath. So breathing in, expand, and breathing out and relax. And just allow that breath to work right through your body, giving yourself permission to let go and release in these stretches. And now we're going to work into the front of the hips and a group of muscles called the iliopsoas muscles. So draw your right knee into your chest and then extend your left leg down towards the floor. And as you breathe in, just drawing that knee in and breathe out and relax. And just do that a few times, really extending that left leg down onto the floor. And you should feel a stretch into the left hip, front of the hip. And just do that a couple more times. And then taking that leg down, and we'll bring the left leg in. Pushing that right leg down towards the floor, drawing the left knee in. It's very gentle, we're working gently with the body, but sometimes you don't have to work in a really strong way to get beautiful results. So allowing the body to trust and let go. And then we'll bring both feet back onto the floor and grab hold of your strap and wrap that strap around your right foot. So keep your knee bent at this point. Make sure you've got a good hold into your right hand. And then from a bent knee, extend that right leg up. You might want to flex the foot a little bit And then we're just going to draw that right leg in until you're getting a good stretch into the hamstring here. So we don't want to feel it behind the knee or into the sitting bones. It's just here into the hamstring. So relax the neck and the shoulders. Use that deep abdominal breath to allow the hamstring to stretch. And if you're able to go past 90 degrees, so if your leg is more towards the body, then you may feel comfortable to take the other leg down. If your leg is further away from the body, then keep that left leg bent so that you're not overstretching your hamstring. So just do what feels right for you. Just be guided by your body, and we work at about 80% stretch here. So I'm going to hold for a few more seconds, just gently drawing the leg in with the hands. And if you want to strengthen that stretch, you could flex the foot, maybe give the ankle a little circle. And then from here, we're going to just allow the strap just to come into your right hand. And then very slowly start to circle into the hip joint. So if you have arthritis or any issues with your hip joint, then this can feel very good, very powerful to help to release the hip, but you need to work very carefully and gently. And it may be that just a few circles either way is enough for you. If you know that your hips are nice and strong and you want to take this a little bit stronger, then you can take the circles wide, keeping that strong support through your leg and using the strap. So working deeply into that fascia all around the hip joint. And then we'll pause and we'll take the circle small, going the other way now. So beginning small and then going wider and wider if that works for you. So just listening carefully to that hip joint and just doing this as long or as wide as feels right for your body and your hips. Keeping that breath gentle and full, relaxing the jaw and the neck. Try not to brace through the shoulders too much, and allowing the hips to stretch and release. And then we'll come back up, draw the leg in one more time, stretch into your hamstring, breathe in. And with the out breath, bending your right knee and just taking the strap off the foot, and just take a moment just to lie and check in with using that subtle awareness, the difference between your right and your left hip and your right and your left leg. So hopefully you can feel quite a difference. So now it's time to balance up. So pop that strap around your left leg. From a bent leg, extend the leg up, stretch, and then decide from there whether you want to keep that right leg bent or whether you're happy to extend it down to the floor. Make sure there's no pinching in the bottom of your back, and then gently start to draw that left leg in. Keep going with that deep abdominal breath. Allow the body to release and let go. Keep your shoulders and your neck and your jaw relaxed. We'll just do 2 more breaths. And then if you want to, and you know that your hips are happy, we'll work on circling, starting small, working slowly, tuning in with your awareness to the sensations in the hip. You may feel happier with the strap just in one hand, and then starting to take that circle wider if you want to. If you're like me, then you might find you're a bit tight on space. You actually need quite a lot of room to do a big circle like this. And then we're going to change direction, working the other way, starting small and then going bigger. Keeping that breath steady and enjoying that fabulous stretch. You should feel it into the hip adductor and the inner thigh, the outer part of the hip, down through the back of the leg and the hamstring, and then coming back. We'll just draw that leg in one more time. Final hamstring stretch. Breathing in and then long extended out breath as you bend the knee. Take the strap away and just allow the legs to settle next to each other, and hopefully you feel a bit more balanced now. And we'll just draw the knees in again, just massage into the lower back. And then lowering the feet down. And from here we're going to do a lie-in twist. So this is where we bring a rotation into the whole of the spine. So we're going to start by stretching the right side. So extend your left leg flat on the floor. Make sure you've got just a little bit of room on either side here for your knee to go out. And then we're going to pop the arch of the right foot onto your left knee. If you're familiar with this twist and you want to make it stronger, you can pop your leg on the outside of that left knee. Okay, but I'm just going to keep my foot on my kneecap. So do take care with your knee and just gently circle that kneecap with your foot. And then extend your right arm just to shoulder level. We're going to keep the shoulders on the floor. I'm going to breathe in, and then as we breathe out, just draw that right knee across. And it may be for you that this is very gentle and just a very slight twist, maybe just to here. So if you are very tight or you've had an injury in your hip, then you'll just want to do this very gently. But otherwise, if you want a stronger stretch, then you may even be able to take that knee right down towards the floor, feeling a strong stretch down the right side of the body, and then you can look out towards that extended right hand. So again, we can bring the awareness into the breath, breathing into that right side, down into the belly, and then breathing out and allowing the body to stretch, let go and release. So this is a beautiful stretch for opening up into the side of the body, for releasing and opening the hips and giving the whole spine a fabulous rotation. And then on the next in-breath, we'll come up and we're going to change sides now. So take the right leg down, pop the arch of the left foot onto the right knee, and take your right hand onto your left knee. Take your left arm out to the side, and then breathe in. And as you breathe out, drawing that left knee down. Taking the neck and the head to the left side and looking out towards that left hand. You might just want to lift up that left hip a little bit more, drawing the knee down, but do take care, this can be a very strong stretch. And if you're a bit niggly in your lower back, then just hold for maybe 2 breaths and then come out and hug those knees in. So listen to your body, let it be your guide, and just do what feels good for you. And then on an in-breath, coming back up, and we'll just draw those knees in again, and just work gently into the sacrum and the lumbar, circling one direction and then the other. And then from here we're going to put both feet back on the floor. You may need your strap for this. So we're going to stretch into the piriformis muscles, which are in the gluteals. So if you tend to get a bit tight and stiff in your lower back, this is another good stretch to do along with the hamstring stretch. So we're going to start with stage 1 of the stretch, which is very gentle, by just putting the right thigh over the left thigh, and then you can either use your strap or you can use your hands to just draw both legs in to the body, and then we'll hold that for maybe about 15 seconds or so, and you may find that you can feel a stretch here into the right buttock. If you can't feel much, then you probably need stage 2 of the stretch, but for some people this will be enough. Also, if you find if your knees are a bit sore, then stage 2 of the stretch is a little bit strong on the knees. So just play around with it and do what feels good for you. So we're going to, for stage 2, if you want to try that, you're going to put your right ankle on your left knee. And then you can either feed your hands or your strap behind your left thigh. Okay. If you want a stronger stretch, then you could actually put your hands around your shin and just flex the foot, and that's a really strong, satisfying stretch into your piriformis muscle. So use that deep breath again. Take the breath right down into your belly, and as you breathe out, allow that muscle to gently let go and release. We're going to hold for 2 more breaths, but if you've had enough, then just come out whenever you want to. And take those knees back up and give yourself a nice massage into your lower back. And then releasing the hands, coming down, popping both feet down on the mat. And again, let's just work with that awareness and just notice those subtle differences between your right and your left side. So it's time to balance up. So pop your left thigh over your right, and either use your strap or your hands to draw both thighs in. You can clasp your hands behind your thigh and draw those legs gently in until you feel that sweet spot there into the left buttock, deep into your gluteal muscles. Keep your shoulders relaxed, soften into the throat and the neck, and do some beautiful deep abdominal breath. And then we'll just release that down. And you can either repeat that, do that one again, or if you want the stronger stretch, then pop in your left ankle onto your right knee this time, feeding the hands behind either the right thigh or in front of the shin. Keep your neck supported. You might want to put a pillow or a cushion underneath your neck. And again, let's just breathe and hold. So you might want to strengthen that stretch by flexing your foot, maybe just pushing your left knee away from the body a bit. And then breathing in and a long extended out breath. So we only ever work at 80% when we're doing our stretches in Drew Yoga. So we don't want to push the body too hard. We want to keep that trust and just allow the body to release and let go in a gentle way. We'll do 2 more breaths. And then lowering down, settling the feet onto the mat. Allowing the feet to be hip distance apart, making sure you've got some room on either side of you. Take the arms to shoulder level, and we're just going to rotate, squeeze and release into the back again. So we're going to do the breath here. We're going to coordinate the breath with the movement. So breathe in, and as you breathe out, take your knees down to one side and look to the other side. So I'm taking my knees to the right and I'm looking to the left. Breathe in, and the knees and the head come to center. Breathe out, and we go the other way. So you can just lift up that right hip a little bit. Keep both shoulders on the floor, breathing in and breathing out. So you're creating like a scissor effect with your knees and your legs. So the feet are still in contact with the floor. And you should feel a wonderful stretch down the side of the body, whatever side you're going. And we're again bringing that rotation right from the base of the spine all the way up to the top of the neck. Allowing your breath to lead the movement. Twisting, stretching, releasing and letting go. Do one more on each side. Breathing in and breathing out. Just allow yourself to take your time. No need to rush. And then come back to center. Draw your knees in one more time. These kind of movements are particularly good if you do a lot of sitting or a lot of driving, or if you tend to get very stiff and tight in your lower back. So we've done lots of lovely releasing work with the back. And then from here, just allowing yourself to come over onto your side. And at this point you may just want to pop a cushion, a blanket, a pillow under your head. Bring your knees up in front of the body. So we've got a nice straight line with the back. You've got your palms, one on top of the other, and the knees are up in front of you. And we're just going to stretch the upper body now. So as you breathe in, take your left fingers up towards the ceiling, and then as you breathe out, allow the arm to go behind you. And you can take the head to look behind you as well. So as with the other move we did earlier, you may find that you can't take the hand all the way down to the floor. So that doesn't matter. Again, you might want to pop a blanket or some other kind of support there so that you've got something to rest on. Keep your knees together and your legs in contact with the floor. I'm going to breathe in and then breathe out. So we'll do that a couple more times, and you should feel a lovely stretch into the pectoralis muscles. And again, we're rotating that spine. If you want to bring the head in, then allow your gaze to follow the arm. We'll just have 2 breaths here. Keep your core muscles gently switched on, and then breathe in, fingers come up, and breathe out, coming down. Just do one more, breathing in, breathing out. We'll do 3 breaths as we hold, just enjoying that stretch, that openness into the chest and the heart, keeping the knees together and the core switched on. And then on your next in-breath, bringing the fingers up and then breathing out. And we're now just going to do the same thing on the other side. So take yourself to the other end of your mat. Get your position nice and strong. Bring those knees up to support you. Make sure you've got enough room behind you. And then when you're ready, breathing in and breathing out. Hold for a couple of breaths. And then on the in-breath, fingers up to the ceiling and breathing out. Just 2 more. This is such a lovely way to gently open up through the rib cage and stretch those muscles across the front of the chest, and just ease out through the neck, breathing in, and as you breathe out, letting go. On the next in-breath, fingers up to the ceiling, and then breathe out, arms come together. And then we'll just take ourselves into Savasana, or the corpse pose, where we started. Just make sure that your spine feels settled. Make sure your shoulders and your hips are balanced and aligned. And just allow yourself to lie here for a few more minutes, just feeling the benefit of that practice, just allowing those beautiful stretches, those rotations, that lovely sense of release and letting go to be absorbed in your body. Just bringing your awareness to your breath, feeling your body lying on your mat. And just staying here as long as you want to. Thank you for joining me for this gentle stretch and release. Hope you have a good day, and I'll see you again soon.